So the loader, they don't just keep inventory of the media. Do they actually load media?
It depends on your firsts and your seconds. There are some seconds and, who are like, you are not physically loading the media. Like they want to do that. They want that peace of mind for themselves, or they want to make sure that it's everyone's has their neuroses and like their things that they want to do specifically. Mm-hmm. But I've been on jobs where it's like, I have the cards on my person and they're like, okay, we're doing a reload, and I will hand off a card to a second or a first, and they'll, usually it's the second, hand off a card and they will do it. I've had ones where the second they always have backup mags in their run bag. So like they'll take it from there, they'll fill it out, they'll put it in, and they'll just expect me to replace the one in their bag, and then they will hand me the media. And then I've had ones where it's like, I am physically doing all the reloads. And then I've had ones where it's like, oh, we have 4 cameras. The seconds can't all do the reloads. Yeah. And then sometimes it is like all the seconds I'm like, okay, we're doing a 4-camera reload, and every second we'll go and swap it, and I will just sit there and be like, give me the cards.
Do they label it?
Sometimes, yeah. There are some who like to label it. Some people like only their handwriting on all their stuff. But there's some who like to label it. There's some who want you to pre-label it for them. It depends. It really depends on who you're working with. Everyone has a different system. And like I said, adaptability, a big thing is being able to fit into whatever system you're going to, because like you're being hired by the A first usually. So you're it's their department. It's their, you're fitting into the way they like things done. So I've worked with a range of people where like some people are more specific about what they want, and other people are just kind of like, yeah, a little more loosey-goosey. Right. Yeah.
Saying that's not how we did it on the last job is really stupid.
Yeah, never say that. Don't say that. It's a different person. It's like, well, I didn't work with you on the last job, right, so I don't know why you're expecting it to be the way, I don't do it the way that other person does it. This is the way I want you to do it. And at the beginning of every job, I will often, especially with like if I'm loading, especially with a DIT, especially with a first, I'll ask specific questions and be like, what do you expect from me? What do you like your loader to be doing? What do you like? What is a priority for your loader? Like, what's the thing that makes your life the easiest that I'm taking care of? And I think everyone does that to, a position below them. Like when I work with a utility instead of a second loader, like one of the first things I always say to them is like, I do not want to think about batteries. I don't want to think about Dionics. I don't want to think about block batteries on the camera. If I never have to think about, oh my gosh, is the battery going to die? You're doing a great job, because I can fully delegate that to a utility and fully like give that off and not worry about it. Mm-hmm. And like that's what I do for the people above me as well. Whatever you can do to make the person above you's job easier, and that kind of slides up, and that makes the department run better. I think it was, I forget who I said it to, but it's like the loader and utility, a good loader and utility are the grease of the wheels of the camera department. Like they help things just run smoother and faster. And like if you can do that, you're doing a good job.
Yeah. Who's the one that's first in line at the food trucks?
That would be the utility.
Okay. That's what I thought.
I know you said like every job is different, but what are some of the things that are pretty standard across all these? Because like I know like isn't A cam always red, B cam's always blue? Like there's like some standard things.
There's some standard things like A cam's always red, B cam's always blue. Well, I've been on jobs where A cam's...
You say always?
Yeah, you can't say always, because I've been on jobs where like they're like, guess what, A cam? Purple.
Yellow.
Yeah, like people will do that. A cam, neon pink. Cool, whatever you want. But it's just the thing that's consistent across jobs is that there is a system of organization. Everything will be labeled. Everything has a place, and everything should be in its place. If you're an organized person, like camera is great, because the more organized you are, the better it is. And there are people who have like a loosier, goosier, more chaotic method of doing that and are still good at their job. But it's just like a matter of finding your system and sticking to your system. That will always be like consistent across jobs, is that like you'll come into a system, you'll learn that system, whether that's new people or whatever, but you will always have your personal like way that you like to do things. So like if I'm loading on a job and the first, likes the lens cart to look a certain way, like I will always, have the things that they want their way. But when I'm in my domain, when I'm physically downloading cards on my computer, there's a system that I follow exactly the same every time, from job to job. There maybe some tweaks that you do because like, oh, this job you need a different format, or this job, there's an extra report that they need for post-production or special effects or whatever it is. But there's a system and like a folder structure and a level of organization that I will repeat on every job that I do. So you find that system and you keep that across jobs because it helps you be better at your job because it's muscle memory.
Do you have to talk to the editor to figure out like with a file structure that they like?
Yeah. So like, sometimes you'll get a post-production email at the beginning, and it depends if you have a DIT or not, because sometimes they handle that more.
Yeah.
But if there's not,
how closely are you working with them?
If you have a DIT on a job, the loader and the DIT are working very, very closely together. And I've been on jobs where the DIT likes to do the reloads. The DIT likes to be the one putting it in the camera and formatting it.
Okay.
So it like I said, it really depends from job to job, but. The biggest thing is like you're the liaison between the camera department and other departments. I talk to the editors. I talk to, the post-production people. I'm on those post-production emails. I'm talking with the script supervisor. I'm talking with G&E. I'm talking with, props. I'm talking with the Teamsters. Like, you're the liaison because you are the person as a loader who can step off set. Everyone's, in the camera department, like they always say like, oh, we're doing French hours. Sucks for the camera operators. They can't escape. Like they're on set. The seconds and the first and the operators and the DP, like they're on set all the time. The loader and by extension the utility are able to go between set like much more freely. So when it's like, hey, we need to go call the rental house to like get this, we broke something or we need to rush, a new piece of equipment and we need to call the rental house and go do this. I've had, the situation where like, here's the number, go call the rental house and organize getting this new piece of gear in, or go send this email because I'm slating, or it's like cover me so I can go do this because this is maybe a bigger thing, that's more complicated. But yeah, it's finding your system across jobs and sticking to it.
Being organized.
And communicating.
Are you
communication? Big time, because like if you can't communicate on set, I don't know why you picked a team-based job as your career.
Solo mission, baby.
Literally, it's like of all like the arts that there are, like I would say film is like the most team-based sport. And I joke that like my experience being on volleyball teams and being on big team sports from like age like 8 to 21 taught me way more than anything in film school did. Like your ability to work on a team is so important in film.